I have now worked another set of straight rows without any decreases, and I ended on a repeat of row 17. Now I will move on to the last row, which is work using the main color on the right side. The last row consists only of F stitches all the way across. So chain 3 in front, and then F across. I have already fastened off my contrast color here because we have finished working with it. So now my last row is complete. We're making the last row like this in order for the panel to mirror across the top what it looks like across the bottom. So now with the last row complete, it's time to join these two layers together across the top. For this, I'm switching to a secondary hook, in my case a 4mm. Depending on your gauge and your natural tension, it's possible that you may have to go down to a different sized hook. The important thing here is that when you're working the edge row as well as the border around the panel, that the fabric doesn't pucker like this, which would mean that your tension is too tight, in which case you would need to go up in hook size. Or it doesn't flare out like this, which means that your gauge is probably too large. So I'll chain 1, and this doesn't count as a stitch, and I'm working 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I'm joining the stitches together as I go. So insert the hook into the first double crochet from 2 rows below, as well as into the last double crochet from the previous row, together like this, and complete the single crochet. Next, insert the hook into the next chain 1 space that's closest to me, and the corresponding double crochet that's farthest away from me, and complete my single crochet. Once again, insert the hook into the double crochet from 2 rows below and the corresponding chain 1 space from the previous row, together, and complete the single crochet. Next we have a chain 1 space here closest to me, then a double crochet farthest away from me, and single crochet over both stitches together. And work like this all the way across. When picking your secondary gauge hook, it's important to go down in hook size, because in my experience, these single crochet stitches worked on the edging row typically are larger than the rows that come before. So I always need a hook size that is smaller than my main gauge hook. Now usually I go down 1mm or a 0.5 millimeter in hook size. So if I use the 4.5mm here, I'm using a 4mm for the edging row. When you reach the end of the row and you have 3 stitches remaining, you have 1 double crochet from 2 rows below, together with the chain space from the previous row. Then you have a chain space from 2 rows below, together with a double crochet from the previous row. And the last 2 stitches to be joined together are the beginning chains. So I insert my hook into the top loops of the 3rd chain of the beginning chain 4 from 2 rows below, as well as the top loops from the beginning chain 3 from the previous row. Like so. And crochet the last single crochet. So now the edging row is complete. As you can see, it doesn't flare out the fabric like this, and it doesn't pucker it in like this. it sits nice and smooth at the same width as the last rows. Now we are going to work a border around the panel, which consists of single crochets, which will also join together the row ends here across the straight edge and across the diagonal edge. Continue working with your secondary gauge hook, chain 1 and turn your work. I start working across the edging row, and I place 1 single crochet into each single crochet. At the end of this segment, I chain 2 and I rotate my work to start working across these row ends. Here I will work approximately 2 single crochets in each set of interlocking rows. One trick I love to do when I'm working across row ends in interlocking crochet is to pick up loops from inside the 2 layers where they meet. That way the face of the stitch is left untouched and it looks prettier in my opinion. When you're working on the back panel, obviously you won't have this diagonal edge, you will have a rectangle, but the principle is the same when it comes to the border round. So I pick up a loop from the purple layer, as well as a loop from the white layer, and I complete the single crochet. There is no right or wrong way to do this, and it is a little bit of a tedious process until you get used to it. Afterwards, it's not that bad. So you just have to pick up loops from both layers and count them as you go so that you end up with the recommended stitch counts from the pattern. Here's what it looks like from this side, the right side. And from the wrong side. Carry on picking up stitches like this across the row ends. Then when you reach the foundation chain, you will work into these 2 empty loops of each foundation chain. Then again, across the row ends on the other side, join here. Of course, whenever you reach a corner, you will chain 2. And then you're done. I'll go ahead and do this off camera, and I'll meet you back here. I finished this side. I worked a single crochet into each of the foundation chains across the bottom, and now I'm working across the other side. And I wanted to show you when you're working the other way around across the row ends. It's pretty much the same thing. It can look a little bit differently, so I wanted you to see it. Again, there's no right way or wrong way to do this, as long as you're happy with the outcome, because it's your piece, it's your cardigan, you're going to wear it, so you need to be happy with it. This is just the way I like to do it. And I do this border round the same way in all my interlocking patterns that have a border round. Not all of them have a border round, but yeah, I'm rambling. So I'll just let you watch this clip of me finishing up this side of the border round. And now my mini front panel is complete. As you can see, this vertical edge has already gotten a lot straighter. Of course, when you block this panel, you will straighten it out a little bit more. You can use blocking pins as well. And once you also add the ribbing, the little bumps here will become completely unnoticeable. So yeah, this is what the panel looks like. When you're working on the back panel, obviously you won't have this diagonal edge, you will have a rectangle, but the principle is the same when it comes to the border round. Here's another close-up, what it looks like on the wrong side and on the right side. To me, it looks super clean. It's such a professional finish. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope this video tutorial helped you and convinced you that interlocking crochet is not that difficult. And don't forget to share if you're making this cardigan, what colors you're using. I would love to see your work. Please don't forget to tag me because I always love seeing what you make from my patterns. It always makes my day.